What's up, everybody, and welcome to the very delayed episode 20 of the Wild Blueberries Roundtable. It is myself, Andrew Renz, and Nick today. We got some stuff to cover, like how Trevor Bauer was traded 2 minutes after we finished recording episode 19. So I guess we'll lead it off with that. Trevor Bauer to the Reds, Logan Allen, Franmil Reyes, Yasiel Puig, among other assets to Cleveland, and the interesting part, Taylor Trammell to the Padres. What are your thoughts on the trade rounds?
Well, I didn't like the idea of trading Bauer, but when I heard the haul, yeah, that's pretty good. You got an outfielder and you got a DH, and both of them have been doing pretty good. And guess what? You're now first place, so it's worked out pretty well for them.
Congratulations, Cleveland. You are now first place.
Now, don't choke it against Minnesota of all teams.
Because the Twins' basically only offensive output right now, even though they've had such a good season, Nelson Cruz is hurt again.
Yep.
Despite having one of the best old guy seasons of all time.
I will give him credit for as long as he's been in this league, he just knows how to hit.
He does know how to hit dingers. That is true. All right, Nick, what are your thoughts?
So, initially it didn't really make sense to me. I get that the Indians have a decent bit of starting pitching, and, Plezak's been pretty good this year. So I guess they had... And obviously, there's been rumors about Bauer getting shipped off forever. So, I'm not surprised that it happened. And for me, the Reds... Yes, you strengthen that starting rotation. Now you've got Luis Castillo, Trevor Bauer, and Sonny Gray as a 1-2-3, and Gray's had a very underrated season, and so it definitely strengthened them there. But what I didn't realize was that trading Puig was going to allow them to call up Aristides Aquino, who I literally never heard of until he hit 8 home runs in his first 15 hits in the major league. So, at the end of the day, the Reds, they're still in it. They actually put the whooping on the Cubs the other night, a game that I saw, a 10-1 victory. It was a Sonny Gray game. Padres got, what's his face, that prospect?
Trammell.
Yeah, so, they had too many outfielders to begin with, like roster outfielders, so it doesn't surprise me. So I think it was a good trade all around, to be honest. Like we said, Cleveland got stronger offensively, and the Reds strengthened the rotation, and they strengthened the rotation even though they traded Tanner Roark. They still, adding Trevor Bauer and subtracting Tanner Roark, that's not a bad bit of business.
All right, and Andrew, what are your thoughts?
It was, when it first came through, I was shocked at the haul that Cleveland got, because they got 3 roster players and a prospect for...
You're counting Logan Allen as a roster player, but he hasn't really played for them yet.
So they had 2 roster players and 2 prospects for Kluber, who is a very good pitcher. And
Bauer,
Trevor Bauer, not Corey Kluber. My bad.
Remember, they were supposed to trade Corey Kluber, though.
The most bizarre thing to me at the time the trade went down was, why did San Diego get involved?
I don't know. It was more of a middleman tactic. I don't think the Indians wanted
to trade directly with Cincinnati.
I don't know if they wanted him. I understand they wanted Puig. He's an outfielder.
Yeah. They needed outfield help, but they got it.
Wanted Cleveland's prospect pool.
Here's my thinking about why San Diego was in it. I think the Cleveland Indians wanted to get Franmil Reyes also, so I think what Cincinnati did was that they gave them Trammell so they can get Trammell Reyes to Cleveland so they can get Bauer.
I guess.
It's weird, but
in a weird way, that kind of makes sense. But it was I think it's going to work out for all sides. Because Taylor Trammell's a very good prospect, and Trevor Bauer's a really good pitcher.
And it's definitely worked out for the Indians so far.
Yeah, and the Indians have benefited greatly so far.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll just see how it comes playoff time.
And I mean, with the trade of Trevor Bauer, I mean, you're looking at, okay, who would have thought that earlier this year that not Corey Kluber, not Trevor Bauer, not Danny Salazar, not Carlos Carrasco, but Zach Plesac, Adam Plutko, and Aaron Saval are pitching, like, down the stretch, really good games. Like, we all saw the Shane Bieber effect coming. Like, Shane Bieber is now one of the best pitchers in baseball. But, like, nobody thought Plutko, Saval, and Zach Plesac, of all people, would be pitching, like, really big games for them down the stretch. And I mean, Plutko shut out the Yankees a couple of weeks ago, and I know Indians are coming to town, so Plutko may be going again. We get 4 of their 5 starters, so we'll see. All right, continuing in the trade deadline. What else we got? Tanner Roark, obviously. Let's talk about some of the stuff the Marlins did. Because I think they had a very quietly good deadline. So they dealt Zach Gallen for Jazz Chisholm. Really, it was an interesting trade because the Marlins had a surplus of pitching prospects. And then they traded one of them for a shortstop prospect. And not only did the Diamondbacks get Gallen, but they got a ton of pitching in the Zach Greinke trade, which we'll get to. And then the Marlins made a really interesting trade with Tampa. Nick Anderson and Trevor Richards for Jesus Sanchez, who's a top 100 prospect in baseball, and Ryan Stanek. So, like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Miami's really sneaky, but I think really good deadline? Nick.
Yeah, it's the Marlins, so to be honest, I didn't pay too much attention. But no, I agree with you. They had one of the more quiet, like you said, a quiet but a good deadline. Because again, I think that's the thing with the Marlins is that whenever they make deals, it kind of flies under the radar, and nobody really. I mean, now obviously there was the trades that they've made in the past, but I'm talking about now because of how bad they've become.
Astros starting pitcher for Game 2 of the doubleheader today was Garrett Cole against the White Sox. Garrett Cole just left the bullpen and went straight into the clubhouse. Chris Davinsky is now warming up to start the game. Well then.
That's not good.
That's not good for Houston. That is great for everyone else, though, that's going into the playoffs.
Very true.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on Miami's interesting trade deadline?
They got the Marlins. They did some interesting things. They got prospects. They took a chance on another guy, and we'll see if it works out for them.
Renz?
For me, I'm just gonna repeat the same thing. Yeah, they had a pretty good deadline, and does this mean Derek Jeter's finally starting to get some senility in the position that he's in?
I feel like Michael Hill worked the deadline.
That is very true.
Derek Jeter would never do this. Derek Jeter would have traded, like, Zach Gallen and Sandy Alcantara to, like, the Twins for Marwin Gonzalez. Like, no.
That sounds about right.
Speaking of pitchers traded, and the Astros, Zach Greinke for not one, not two, not three, but four very good prospects. So, looking at the guys that Arizona got, the first one was the first one that actually just made his major league debut the other day was Josh Rojas, who third baseman, nothing super special. He was the fourth guy in the package. Like, you know, every trade that has four players going in return, it's like two really good players, a good one, and that fourth guy. He was that fourth guy. Then you look at in this case, it was three really good players. Let's start with Corbin Martin. So Martin started the year. He made his MLB debut with Houston, and then he had Tommy John surgery. So Martin will be back at some point next year, but he'll be really good in that Diamondbacks rotation. JB Bukauskas, former first-round pick, another solid arm. Can throw really hard. Also can throw for he can throw very good, like, control-wise. And the prospect that I really liked, like, I like everybody that the D-backs got in the deal, but Andrew, what are your thoughts on Seth Beer? Is he going to end up being a first baseman or an outfielder?
I don't know too much about him, honestly. So I couldn't tell you.
Anyone have any input about Seth Beer?
I honestly think he's going to be a first baseman. Just because looking at the Diamondbacks farm system, they might have some decent outfielders that could become stars for them down the line.
Yeah, I mean, right now in the Diamondbacks system, because we're not looking at their current outfielders, because it'll be Ketel Marte, and then you've got Alec Thomas, who's their number one prospect, Christian Robinson, their number two prospect, Corbin Carroll, their number three prospect, then Beer is 4, then they've got other outfielders further down the list, but I mean, for Arizona, you're really looking at Ketel Marte being flanked by 2 top prospects.
Yeah, so honestly, I still see Beer profiling as a first baseman, just also with the bat too.
Yeah, he's got a big bat. He's got a first baseman's bat.
Yeah, he's not terrible in the field, but he's like too slow for me for an outfield.
Not many left fielders that have the bat like he does.
Yeah. He's just too slow.
He is slow. He's a first baseman.
Yeah.
So, their Greinke trade was really good for Arizona, and I think they came out as the winners of the deadline. Anyone disagree?
For me, the only way I'll disagree is if Houston wins the World Series.
That is true.
That is the only way you could say the Astros won, but right now...
Think about 3 years ago. I would be saying the same thing. I would say the Yankees came out of the winners at that deadline unless the Cubs won the World Series. Now,
what up?
Now, I think the Yankees came out winners. Because, I mean, the Yankees are playing the Orioles again today. It's 8-2, and Gleyber Torres is just making Baltimore his baby.
Well, to be fair, also you signed back the guy you traded for Torres.
That is true, and we basically got Starlin Castro for free. Because
you basically got Gleyber Torres for nothing.
We traded... Okay, so... we got Gleyber Torres, and it's this whole thing that Yankee fans like bragging about on Twitter.
Why?
Manny Benuelos was traded to the Braves for David Carpenter. David Carpenter was traded to the Nationals for Tony Renda. Tony Renda was part of the package to get Aroldis Chapman, along with Eric Jagielo and 2 other prospects that the Yankees were never going to use. and Caleb Cotham, who retired a year later, and Rookie Davis, who's bounced around now and not been great. And then we traded Aroldis Chapman, and in the package back for Chapman, we got Adam Warren, who we traded with Brendan Ryan for Starlin Castro, who we traded for Giancarlo Stanton with Jose Devers, Rafael Devers' cousin, who was never going to play for the Yanks, even though he's turned into a pretty decent prospect. And one of the two pitchers we got for Brian McCann, and we traded for Billy McKinney in that deal, who got us a very good J-Happ for a season. So basically, Manny Benuelos turned into Gleyber Torres, Aroldis Chapman, a World Series ring for the Cubs, and J-Happ.
That's a very long timeline.
Something
that's a lot of trades.
Fans like talking about. Like a lot.
Of course they do.
Yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't they?
That is very true.
All right, so we're all thinking unless Houston wins the World Series, the D-backs are coming out as the winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, unless the Astros win the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other trades that surprised you at the deadline, though?
The Phillies trading for Corey Dickerson. Kind of like, huh?
No. I got one that's more surprising than that.
What do you got, Nick?
The Reds trading Scooter Gennett to San Francisco.
I never understood.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
That's a good one.
He was hitting he was like hitting 200.
Right, yes, because he came back from his injury. I mean, he came back from injury. You're not going to expect the dude to figure it out immediately.
Also, he only
Scooter
had 70
Gennett's a good player. He's a good player. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Also, he's doing pretty good in San Francisco right now.
Yeah, he had a splash home run the other night.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Reds probably were the most interesting team to watch this deadline.
Yeah. Another trade that was really interesting, well, there were two trades that really come along the same route. Carl Edwards Jr. to the Padres, because he fell out of favor in
Chicago
really quick. And then Hunter Wood and Christian Arroyo to Cleveland for basically nothing.
Pretty much.
The thing with Arroyo is he fell out of favor in Tampa. He's not the prospect he used to be, but he's still a decent hitter. Like, if Cleveland needs to call him up in September to split time with Jason Kipnis at second base, just to give Kipnis some days off going into the playoffs, go ahead, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But overall, very interesting deadline. But a lot of teams did well. Then there were teams who legitimately did nothing. The Yankees included.
The Red Sox.
The Red Sox did nothing either. We each made a trade prior to the deadline, and the Yankees traded Joe Harvey for some scrub Rockies minor league pitcher just to free up a spot in the 40-man roster. And if anybody has any idea of what's going on with the Yankees bullpen situation right now, it's injured.
But isn't that been your entire season so far? But you're still doing good.
All it's been is injuries for the Yankees.
Yep.
Holder, Tarpley, and Hale all are out. So the other day, they signed Brady Lale and Joe Mantiply to major league contracts, put them on the roster yesterday for the doubleheader. Both of them pitched in game 2. Then they sent both down today. Lale stays on the roster. Mantiply gets DFA'd. They activate Loaisaga off the 60 ADL. They release Daniel Camarena, who was also on the 40-man roster, never pitched though, and called up Adonis Rosa, who's another guy who's just been sitting in the Yankees system for God knows how long and is now getting an opportunity with half the Yankees bullpen hurt.
I'm just gonna have this question. What entity did you guys piss off?
I have absolutely no clue.
Like, it can't be. Like, who the hell did you guys piss off for this to happen? Like,
I guess our fan base for not signing Machado or Harper, but now we all like suck off for Michael Tauchman and Gio Urshela. So like, I never wanted Harper or Machado in the first place.
You've won 27 World Series. That's enough.
All I said, what I was saying to my friends was, I don't want Harper. I don't want Machado. I want Michael Brantley and Daniel Murphy.
and you got DJ LeMahieu.
Well, we got DJ LeMahieu, and that's all that matters. All right.
It would be AL MVP if Mike Trout didn't exist.
LeMahieu will be second, right?
He'll be second.
Absolutely.
And do you think
The only way he won't be second is if he injures himself.
will end up being top 5?
Who?
Gio Urshela?
Depends on the East Coast bias.
The guy is hitting .324 with like 18 home runs.
That is
What is this
true.
for?
American League Most Valuable Player.
AL MVP.
I don't see Urshela in the mix.
I think he's at least top 10. But I don't
Maybe.
know any further than
I don't know.
I could see him being like 8 or 7.
But DJ LeMahieu will be number 2. Like,
Oh no, he'll be
no doubt.
he'll be 2 unless he suffers like some dumb injury.
Either be 2 or 3. And the only other person I could see finishing above him right now is Alex Bregman. So we'll see what happens there. Let's move on to another sport. Andrew, you wanted to talk about the World Junior Summer Showcase, so
Yeah, we had the World Junior Summer Showcase take place a couple weeks ago. And it was more just a chance to see a bunch of the prospects that are already on teams play, and there were some fun games. There was US-Sweden US-Canada about 10 days ago, and
Cole Caulfield is really good.
Cole Caulfield's really good. Joel
So is
Farabee.
John Beecher.
Joel Farabee has great hockey sense. Oliver Wahlstrom has a nice shot. Trevor Zegras is great. Cam York is a man playing among boys when it comes to his knowledge of the game.
Other than that, he's a boy playing amongst boys.
Like, his body's not particularly NHL ready, but mentally, he's there.
He's not supposed to be NHL ready this year.
No, he's not supposed to be NHL ready, but, like, his brain can process, like, his poise on the ice is just unreal when you watch him play. He never panics.
Okay. So
Anybody else have any other thoughts on things they saw, found interesting?
From what I saw, it was good. It was a good showing of, like you said, some of these prospects that are already on teams. I know John Beecher had a pretty good summer showcase, which is good to see. I think a lot of Bruins fans were kind of questioning that pick, but I think that he kind of shut a lot of them up at the summer showcase. But It's one of those things where most of your average Joes don't watch it. It's really just like people who actually care.
Yeah.
The small percentage that actually really cares. So
People
it was
like
good to
us.
see. Yeah, it was good to see some of the prospects in action, especially some of the guys that you know, a lot of the like development team guys that you really never see. I personally I hadn't seen much game footage of any of the guys on the U.S. developmental team, that developmental program team. So it was kind of cool to see.
Guys like John Beecher, Matt Boldy, Cole Caulfield. It's always good to see those guys because the U.S. national team, like the USNTDP, you don't see a lot of. Like as just a normal hockey fan, you don't see a lot of like USHL. You can get college hockey pretty much anywhere. It's the USHL you don't get a lot of.
And that's where a couple of this year's top prospects came out of.
Yeah. There were a number of top prospects that played in USHL, which US U18 development program is part of.
I will say this right now. The league that gets the least attention but always comes out with that one really good prospect a year is the BCHL.
Yeah.
I mean, Kel McCarr last year, Alex Turcotte this year. They're looking up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. All right. Before we move on to probably an extended final thoughts, because I know we have thoughts about a lot of different things, including Andrew and I about week 1 of the Prem.
Yes, it's back.
Tis back. I know that. Let's just each give our opinion on the Players Weekend jerseys for this year.
They kind of remind me of the NHL All-Star jerseys.
What?
They remind me of the NHL All-Star jerseys from this year.
And the NHL All-Star jerseys were absolutely disgusting. As are the Players Weekend jerseys.
It's all black or all white.
Which
Not a huge fan.
I understand why it's still kind of, the reasoning for it's still dumb, because you guys know the reason why they're doing it, right?
No,
Are they doing the parlay, the recycled jersey stuff again?
No, this is why. It's because they want the players to be the personality, not the jerseys.
Okay, that's bullshit.
That's
dumb. Not even a joke. That is actually the reason why they did black and white. And I'm just like, bullshit.
Jerseys.
It's because you're lazy.
It can't be that hard to just even recycle the old ones.
I like the old jerseys.
Exactly. If you guys didn't want to change it, just go back to the old ones. No one would be mad.
Alright. So, Nick, do you have any thoughts on it?
They're interesting. We'll say that. I don't really, you're not gonna know who's who because all the jerseys and the hats look the same, and even the logos are black and white. So it'll be fun.
And you would think, oh, they must have at least put like the name and number. Nope, same color.
Everything's the same color, and when I first saw those, no joke, I was
using an emoji as part of your Players Weekend jersey.
Yep. So this is
multiple players doing that this year.
Yeah. So this was my first thinking when I first saw them. When I first saw them in media, I said like, okay, is the reason why MLB did this was because to pay homage back then and just have black and white? And I said, if that's the case, that's a stupid idea. Then I hear the actual reason why, and I told you guys, I said, okay, that's even more stupid.
It is more stupid. All right. Final thoughts. I'm going to lead it off. First off, Prem. The Chelsea game was ugly. It was really ugly. Like, Frank Lampard had no idea what he was doing. And even crazier, Pulisic came on, and the game got worse. And I think Andrew can agree with me here.
Yeah, that game, that was about as bad as you could have an opening game for Frank Lampard as manager of Chelsea.
And Pulisic is a member of Chelsea.
Well, Pulisic really didn't get a chance to show what he was capable of because the rest of the team just broke down.
That is true. Allison Becker out 4 to 8 weeks with a goal kick. Congratulations. You played yourself.
It's disappointing.
That is really disappointing.
But Adrian is a quality goalkeeper. His play style really fits with what Liverpool like to do. He's really good with the ball at his feet. Got really good footwork, and he's a good shot stopper. And it's a lot easier to stop shots when your back line includes Virgil van Dijk.
Yes, and you know how they like to play with the ball? They have Mohamed Salah. Of course they like having the ball.
Well, I'm just talking about the keeper playing the ball and building up short passes out of the back. The build-up play that Liverpool like to do, they like to slowly build up and move the ball forward and use the keeper as an outlet at times. And so the keeper being able to play with the ball in his feet is very important in Liverpool's system, in Klopp's system.
All right. So the next part of my final thoughts is about college. And it's not about a college sport. It's about a college. It's about Ohio State. Or apparently, OSU is trying to trademark something. They are trying to trademark the word "the" in the Ohio State University.
You're joking.
I am dead serious.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's pretty dumb.
They are apparently linked to offering branded clothing with the word "the" and the logo that is being sold on the website for football.
Well then, that's certainly.
I mean, at the very least, you could. At the very least, there's some laughter factor in here.
There's
laughter
factor. Also, we've got what else? What else is good right now? For any Islanders fan that is listening, stop freaking out. I get it. You're upset Semyon Varlamov is wearing 40. It is a jersey number. It is not the end of the world.
Is this Josh Hosang all over again?
No, this is that Robin Leonard wore 40.
What?
Varlamov, who wore 1 in Colorado, which is what Thomas Grice wears, is wearing number 40. What else? Dave Portnoy, go F yourself. If you guys heard about the whole Barstool thing today, Portnoy was threatening to fire employees that were contemplating unionizing, which is a human right and a worker's right. So Dave Portnoy, go F yourself.
It is Barstools, though.
And final thing, 4th inning today, Kyle Seager and Tom Murphy went back to back. In the 6th inning today, Kyle Seager and Tom Murphy went back to back. That is how I'll end up my final thoughts. Nick.
All right, so I'll start off with Chris Sale. Is very good at pitching.
He is
Fastest pitcher to 2,000 strikeouts, which beats Pedro's record. It's kind of you had to kind of see it coming. I mean, it's Chris Sale. He's struck out 11 tonight. He just strikes people out a lot. It's that back foot slider. Number 2, Rafael Devers, dark horse MVP candidate. He's been an absolute monster at third base this season. Arguably one of the best hitting third basemen in the league. And he has become a lot better defensively this year. In the first month of the season, he was horrible, and since then he's been great. He's actually 4 for 4 tonight with 3 doubles. Because Rafael Devers can run, I guess. And I'll end it off with 2 things. Very glad that football is on the horizon. Preseason is underway, and we will have regular season football coming up. Excited to see how the league shakes out this year. There's a lot of movement in the offseason with AB going to Oakland and Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Browns. So it's going to be a very interesting season.
Oh.
And
wait, Nick.
Yes.
Okay. One more thing. Congratulations, Renz. You'll get a laugh out of this. With the Rangers placing Jesse Chavez on the injured list today, the quality of arms in the Texas Rangers bullpen and the reliability of arms in the Rangers bullpen goes the following. Number 1, Jose Leclerc. Number 2, Sean Kelly. Number 3, Rafael Montero.
Rafael Montero?
Dead serious.
He's still in the league.
Yes.
I could have sworn nobody gave him a chance after the Mets got him.
All right. So, Andrew.
Well, Liverpool opened the season on this past Friday night, with a very, very convincing 4-1 win over Norwich. Mohamed Salah scored, Divock Origi scored, Trent Alexander-Arnold was great, put great balls into the box, and they played well despite losing Alisson in the first half.
Yeah,
but they've got a challenge coming up ahead. They've got Chelsea tomorrow in the European Super Cup, where the winner of the Champions League face the winner of the Europa League. So that'll be an interesting match tomorrow. Big test for Chelsea and Frank Lampard after their loss to Man U on Sunday. The Phillies are bringing back Charlie Manuel as the hitting coach. They fired John Maley and are bringing back Charlie Manuel. My thoughts on this are the Phillies start to hit, Charlie Manuel will get praised. If the Phillies continue to fail, they will still blame Gabe Kapler, the fans. There's nothing you can do to make the fans like Gabe Kapler at this point. Besides him maybe going on a run and somehow the Phillies win the World Series this year.
Or if they decide to fire him.
Well, they'd be happy at management, not at Kapler.
That'd be true.
They'd be happy Kapler is gone.
Yeah, they'd be happy he's gone, not happy for him.
Yeah, and then inevitably Charlie Manuel will be the manager again.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
And And then I was at the Union game this weekend where they played Houston. Very sloppy first half. They came out with a 2-1 win. Could have played a lot better. Have to play a lot better the rest of the way if they want to continue to hold on to first place in the East and make a run at MLS Cup.
All right. Reds.
Okay. Let's just start with the one. I just want to see some preseason hockey at this rate. No, like you've already been hearing about football, baseball's already in its dog days. Basketball, I don't know what the hell's happening there. I just want to start hearing more news about it.
Also, interjection to that. Teams, please sign your restricted free agents.
And you just stole what I was about to say next. Because what the hell is happening with most of the RFAs? I understand the idea of having a holdout, but half of these guys don't even have a chance to get offer sheeted, which, again, I understand a holdout, but just get this over with so I don't have to hear, like, multiple trades, especially with Marner. Don't get me started on that.
It's October 13th, and probably 80% of the RFAs still haven't been signed.
It's August 13th.
It's 13.
That's what I meant.
It's fine. We're all tired.
Months and days are hard.
But
yeah.
McAvoy, DeBrusque, Werenski, Besser, Connor, Line, Marner,
Provorov, Konechny,
Beauvillier. There are so many RFAs that haven't been signed yet.
There is.
Point.
Yep, it's a ridiculous list. Okay, so my next thought would yep. What do you want, Scott?
No, I said Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah, him too. There's a lot. We could just all agree on that. My second thought would be the Jets. Jets. Hey, at least you guys are looking decent so far. You cut Catman, which, thank God.
No.
Or he retired.
Tired out of embarrassment.
Yeah. Yep. And then third, what the fuck, Mets? How the fuck do you pull a Nosferatu back from the dead? Okay, I understand that you guys are losing 5-1 at the moment. Brad Brock, I think, actually had a clean inning. Yeah, he did. But what the hell? First thing I hear about you guys doing the Stroman trade, I'm saying, like, why? Anthony K and SWR might not be the best prospects, but still, why? And then you guys just rattle off 15 out of 18 after this game like it's nothing. Yes, I understand it's bad teams, but you don't beat... Just because they're bad doesn't mean you're always going to win against them. It's just not how it works.
All right.
And, God damn it, you made me drink the Kool-Aid. I don't care what happens the rest of the season. Hey, they're probably going to suck because they're facing the Braves, but still. Right. I think I'm done there.
And that is it for a wild episode 20, where there was a lot of interesting things brought up. In conclusion, RFAs, please sign. Mets, stop winning. Phillies, start hitting. And just give us hockey season already. All right. See you next time on episode 21.